Hey, what's up everyone? This is Zach and I am here with a discography ranking video for you guys. Now for this video, I will be ranking the studio albums from 3 Days Grace. Now 3 Days Grace, definitely a great hard rock band from the 2000s. I've always liked their music. I've been a fan for many years, and I believe I have ranked the 3 Days Grace albums before. But the last time I did, I believe, was before 3 Days Grace released Explosions and Alienation. So 3 Days Grace has dropped 2 new albums since the last time I have ranked this band's discography. So there's that. So I do feel that a new updated ranking is due at this point. And you know how it goes. We'll be going from my least favorite to favorite, or worst to best, based off my opinion, of course. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So what I have last at the bottom, it's got to be their 2018 album Outsider, which is the second album with Matt Walst on vocals. I don't think it's a bad album. I don't think that this is a bad album. And with that said, you could argue that 3 Days Grace has no album that's straight up bad or terrible. But honestly, if I had to choose which album of theirs I'd say is their weakest, it's got to be Outsider. And really, the main reason for that, I'd say, is the lyrics. I feel like when it comes to the lyrical department, 3 Days Grace really could have done better on this album. I mean, I Am an Outsider, that's a good example of a song that you listen to the lyrics and you're like, really? Like, this is the best that they could do? But this album does have some good stuff on it, though. Right, Left, Wrong is a good opening track. I do like The Mountain, Infrared, Nothing to Lose But You, and Villain I'm Not. Those are really good songs. Now, another thing that I've noticed about this album is some of these songs, they seem to go by pretty quick. Like, I feel like some of these songs, they could have made longer. Mainly songs like Nothing to Lose But You and Villain I'm Not. I mean, these songs, they feel like they just go by way too quick. So, yeah. So, for all that, I'd say that this is 3 Days Grace's weakest album, but still not bad. There's still some good stuff on this album. So, overall, Outsider, it's not bad, but it's got to be their weakest. So, next in this ranking, their 2022 release, Explosions. Again, like with Outsider, it's not one of their best. It is one of their weaker albums, but it's still quite good. Still quite a good album. There's some good stuff on here. So-Called Life, Neurotic, Lifetime, which is a very emotional song, maybe even one of 3 Days Grace's most emotional tracks. I really do enjoy the song Lifetime. A Scar Is Born and Chain of Abuse. That song has a really good chorus and everything, so Explosions, it's good, but it's definitely not top tier or top shelf 3 Days Grace. That's for sure. But still, Explosions, it's good for what it is. So next in this ranking, Human, which is the first 3 Days Grace album with Matt Walst on vocals, their 2015 album. And I'd say of the solo Matt Walst 3 Days Grace albums, this has got to be the best one, to be honest. It's a pretty good album. There's some very good stuff on here. Human Race is a pretty good opening track. Painkiller, I might say is one of the best 3 Days Grace songs with Matt Walst on vocals. I could really say the same for Fallen Angel. Fallen Angel is a great 3 Days Grace track. Definitely one of my favorites on this album too. I Am Machine, really good song. And Car Crash, kind of an underrated 3 Days Grace song. I could say the same for Nothing's Fair in Love and War, another underrated 3 Days Grace song. So yeah, the Real You is kind of a unique closing track on this album too. So yeah, Human, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good album actually. And again, I'd say it's the best of the Matt Walst solo albums with 3 Days Grace. So there you go. Human. Okay, so next in this ranking, Transit of Venus, which is the last Adam Gontier 3 Days Grace album, at least for a while, their 2012 album. It is a good album. Is it their best work? Absolutely not, but it's a good album still. I still do like this album. Chalk Outline is a good song. The High Road, Operate, Misery Loves My Company, Give In to Me. You also have Expectations. Lots of good stuff on this album. Transit of Venus, I do like this album, but again, just not their best work. It's not top shelf 3 Days Grace, but still good album. Still a good album. Okay, so next is their most recent album, Alienation, their 2025 album. Definitely a strong album, and I would say that this is 3 Days Grace's best album in years. So this album sees Adam Gontier coming back to the band along with Matt Walst. I mean, both Matt Walst and Adam Gontier are doing vocals on this album, and it works. It definitely works for this album. Lots of great stuff on this album. Apologies, Mayday, Kill Me Fast, In Waves, the title track, Never Ordinary, and you also have Don't Want to Go Home Tonight, In Cold Blood, Another Relapse. Many great songs on this album. And again, I'd say that this is 3 Days Grace's best album in years. So there you go. So Alienation, great album from 3 Days Grace, their 2025 album, and there you go. All right, so next in this ranking, Life Starts Now, their 2009 album. Definitely a great one. This album I know would be in a lot of people's top 3, and it's at number 3 for me. Now, for a while, I've put this album at number 2, but the more that I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, this is probably number 3 for me. But still, Life Starts Now is a great 3 Days Grace album. I mean, of course, you have Break on here. That's a really good song, a 3 Days Grace classic. You have World So Cold and Lost in You, and No More. No More is an underrated 3 Days Grace song, maybe even one of their most underrated songs. Someone Who Cares is pretty good. Without You, pretty good song. And then, of course, the title track is good too. So, Life Starts Now, really good album from the band. Okay, so here we are at the top 2. Number 2, the debut album, 3 Days Grace from 2003. Definitely a strong debut, of course. This was just a legendary debut rock album of the 2000s, and this is probably 3 Days Grace at their most raw, too. Many great songs on here, such as Just Like You, a 3 Days Grace classic, which has a really great chorus, really great lyrics. I mean, definitely great stuff. I Hate Everything About You, which is a 3 Days Grace classic as well, one of their biggest hits. Great song. You also have Home, another one of the highlights on this album, in my opinion. Now or Never, I think, is a pretty underrated 3 Days Grace track as well. I also do like the song Wake Up, and Overrated is a pretty good album closer too. So the debut album, 3 Days Grace, really good album, really solid album from the early 2000s. And yeah, it's definitely worth checking out if you like post-grunge or early 2000s hard rock music. So 3 Days Grace's debut is coming in at number 2, great album. But at number 1, you probably already know what it is at this point. I know that this album would be number 1 for a lot of fans of 3 Days Grace. 1X, definitely one of the best hard rock albums of the 2000s, their 2006 album. And yeah, there's not really a single skip on this album. All the songs are good, but I'd say some of my favorites on here would be It's All Over, Pain, Animal I Have Become, which is another 3 Days Grace classic, and also one of my favorite 3 Days Grace tracks. Never Too Late, of course, another big hit from the band. On My Own, pretty underrated. You got Riot. Over and Over, another underrated 3 Days Grace track. Time of Dying, also great. Gone Forever, solid as well. So 1X, I think that this is them at their best. I think this is peak 3 Days Grace. This has their best songwriting, just their best songs overall. And yeah, Adam sounds great on this album and everything. Great vocals, and just even the musicians behind Adam do fantastic on here. So 1X has got to be number 1. It's got to be 3 Days Grace's best album, at least in my opinion. So let me know what you think. How would you rank the 3 Days Grace discography? Feel free to let me know in the comments. And what did you think of this ranking? Feel free to let me know. So, with all of that being said, thank you all for watching, take care, and have a good one.